So you, as the host of Coffee and Pie and the co-host of the Jaymeson tapes, have here a berry pie stout.
Whoa!
And this is a shot of Kahlua.
Okay.
So I've combined the Jaymeson tapes and Coffee and Pie to do a bastardized Boilermaker of sorts.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm not going to actually drop the shot. I'm going to dump it.
Thank you.
But, yeah. Here we go.
Let's do.
What's the name of it?
Chug, 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 chug.
Alan drinks Rumble Mints. Alan drinks Rumble Mints.
And then I fucking died. I still show that to people at work.
Oh, good.
I love it.
That was quite good.
Yes.
What I just consumed.
That's.
Out of the water.
This is the part where we say hello and welcome to...
Well, yeah, I think we definitely transitioned away from the dregs at this point. Because I don't want that has to be part of the normal podcast. Although doesn't Coffee and Pie normally open with y'all singing?
Singing something or...
Oh.
Fuck.
Caught in a tailspin.
And the tiki room.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. We're pirates, we got me hearties, yo ho. We're pirates, we got me hearties, yo ho. Yeah!
I added a new wrinkle to the bit when we wrote it last night.
Oh yeah? What did you add?
Oh my god.
I just kept finding things around me and making the song about that.
Oh, nice.
It's just like, yo ho, a barrel's life for me. I made it of wood, you store stuff inside me, drink up, me
That's funny.
Old Pearl.
That's pretty good.
So this is... How did you word it? Darkly?
Undercooked Jaymeson Pie. Welcome to Darkly Undercooked Jaymeson Pie. This will be released on every podcast feed associated with it.
As we gotta help jump.
I don't say creative horror people know the two people that are...
No.
Or if they do.
Well,
no?
they've heard the name.
Yeah, absolutely. You two are like...
We did a Coffee and Pie Undercooked.
You have been on Undercooked Analysis before.
Yeah, technically. Yeah. We did, we read
Pie as the Four of Life.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, God. Yeah.
For those who aren't aware of the plot of Pie as the Four of Life, it's about putting foreskin in pie.
Yeah.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Who wrote that?
I don't know.
Good.
I don't remember.
Good.
Yeah, it was a while back, though.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
It was bad.
Didn't that open with a kiss from a rose? Or no? No, it's Wonderwall you opened up with.
Oh.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like us.
Sounds about right. Sounds like something that we would do. Yeah, I think like the bit just became, we just started, I don't think we started off like that, because we had songs that you would play at the beginning of the first
There was
couple
a few
episodes.
episodes where I didn't give a shit about being content ID'd and just started off the episode with licensed music.
Yeah.
I was young, dumb, and full of no cares about content ID.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But, and then like it just evolved into like us doing songs.
Which can still get you content ID.
Yeah.
If you sing it well enough.
If we do it well enough.
Well.
We did a pretty killer Friends opening theme once.
Yeah.
There was a beer in Cork called Friends. I think it was a sour, but...
How is it not coffee flavored?
That is a good question.
There was a beer in Corked?
Corked. There probably was a lot of beer in Cork, too.
I was gonna say like,
I'm not drunk, you're drunk, Judge.
You know, the funny part is...
You're out of order.
You object to that.
Here's the funny part. That just happened like earlier in the weekend where I said, oh, because David had texted me and I was hanging out with Seid. I'm like, oh, David's at Corked. Seid turned to me, he's like, he's in court? And I'm like, no. I just got scared for a second.
There's a video out there of when the pandemic, when we were in lockdown, the courts were struggling to find out how to like hold public hearings hearings because they're trying not to put everything on hold. And so there's just a bunch of hilarious Zoom footage out there of courts learning how to use Zoom. And in one of them, there's like open public hearings, and everyone's kind of filing in one by one. And then the judge just like this opposing counsel's talking, and the judge says, "Hold on a second. Whose name is Buttfucker 3000?"
Did he say that?
You're lucky I just finished my drink. I was about to spit.
The guy whose like title was like, "My name's Paul, actually." Well, why does it say Buttfucker 3000? And he's just like, just eject some of those. You go think about that.
You go to your room and you think about what you've done.
And the video ends. The video ends with some other dude who's just in the lobby and he just starts busting out laughing.
Oh my god.
He's not muted.
It was that video where, like, the guy leaves the cat filter on. It's like, excuse me, just real quick, the defendant has a filter on. And the guy's like, oh, I don't know how to turn it off, but I promise I'm not a cat.
My personal favorite is, damn, Randy, you bald as shit.
Okay, I'm gonna be that person. We probably should do intros or proper intros.
Yeah. I was gonna facilitate that, but thank you, Kaela. So Kaela is doing. Well, first of all, there's Kaela. Hi, Kaela.
Hi.
Hi, Kaela.
We love Kaela. Yes.
Aww.
There's Alan.
I'm Alan. You probably know who I am. I am in most of the shows
Yes.
we're doing today.
I think all of the shows.
Three quarters.
You've been you've been in a Darkly Lit.
You've been in multiple Darkly Lits.
You've been in several Darkly Lits.
Yeah.
Horror of Camp Jelly Jam. Anyone?
Yeah, I was in that one.
Yep.
Was also in the Electric Boner.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, if I could go back and unread a book.
It would be Lair of the White Worm.
Yeah, actually, that's true. Speaking of which, that's Abysmii.
Hi, I co-host the Jaymeson tapes. I'm on UCA quite a bit, and I'm also behind a lot of drunken shenanigans that makes its way into UCA. So, like Lair of the White Worm.
Also joining us is longtime associate of UCA, and well, technically, sort of. Are you taking off?
Yeah, I'm taking off.
Well, about to depart this existence is associate of the podcast and one of my dearest friends in the whole world, Matt Holley.
Hello.
Excellent, Matt Holley.
Matt Holley is our.
That's a picture wrap on Matt Holley.
Glad I got to see you for a bit before you could take off.
Yeah.
For like 2 seconds.
I'm sorry for showing you things.
I'm not.
As I established earlier, it was better than being at work.
That's fair. All right, peace out, huh?
Anyway, guys.
Let him out. Nice to meet you.
Drive carefully.
It was nice to meet
Nice to
y'all.
meet you.
I have not met before. You guys have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
That review probably could go on the box for things.
It probably could, actually.
Yeah.
It's better than being at work.
Probably better than your job.
Yeah. And let's see. Well, that changes one of my plans I had. I thought Matt was going to be around a little longer, but that's okay.
We have 2 guest stars.
Yes, we have 2 guest stars. We have Marcus.
Hey, how you doing? I'm DeMarcus, but you can call me the Chocolate Prince.
Everyone else does.
Yeah, pretty much. People at work started calling me Chocolate Prince.
Just specifically you, the guy listening to this, named Dan.
That's right, Dan.
Dan.
You are listening into this, and your name is Dan. You are allowed to refer to him as the Chocolate Prince. If you are not named Dan, you will not speak to DeMarcus.
Dan Stevens. Dan Stevens.
I will also grant express permission to Dan Scammell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a Dan that we know.
You will divert eye contact from DeMarcus if you are not named Dan.
Stevens.
No. You made it a
Scammell.
bit too specific.
And then we have Sean.
I'm Sean. Hi, everybody. I'm from Coffee and Pie.
Woo!
I do the music thing sometimes.
Yeah. This is the crossover. I don't know if everybody asked for, but it's a crossover we wanted.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
It's happening.
Yeah.
And
We're all in one room.
Yeah. And I'm your regular UCA co-host, David. Hi. Welcome. And just like UCA, we're all just kind of sitting around a Blue Yeti, as is wont for. So it's got the UCA quality, but it's got the gravitas of people from several podcasts all in one.
Honestly, this is exactly the same setup we use for coffee and pie. Yeti in the center with everyone around, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
We have a hypothetical coffee and pie thing going on, so that worked out nice. Yeah.
Hypothetical Coffee is a band I used to play bass for.
There it is. Said's, by the way, Seid is floating somewhere nebulously, but just like Seid in real life, in his role on the Jaymeson tapes, he's just kind of an invisible presence.
Yes.
But he is here, spiritually.
He is always here
He's
with
always-
everyone.
Yeah. And Gracie's here too, but hi, Gracie. She's back there eating food.
Oh.
Yeah. So, normally on UCA we read something, but I don't know if I feel like reading something, so let's just chill. How about that?
Yeah. Fun.
Because what I was thinking of doing originally was, since Matt was here, I was going to have you do Splash Mountain, but
Oh.
but he left, so.
I did want to tell a story about my flight in.
Okay. Oh yeah, you told me you wanted to say you were saving this for the recording.
Yeah. So,
This is good.
I got a Delta Comfort Plus flight, which means I got a screen with a variety of movies to enjoy at my disclosure. At my leisure.
Disclosure.
I will disclose these movies. Thank you.
Yes.
Right on the eye.
I ended up adding a 31st movie to my 30 Days of Disney streak and watched Inside Out. But that's not what's important. What's important is that I was traveling with my sister and she got the window seat. I was in the middle, and next to me, I knew there would in fact be a rando. So
Parisian.
the rando seated next to me was a Midwest wine mom.
Oh boy.
Oh my
And
god.
the row in front of me was all three of her children. So,
Go on.
once we got up in the air and I was able to peruse the variety of films, I saw that one of them was Smile. And I turned to my sister, who had also seen it, and I was like, how fucking crazy would you have to be when seated next to a random person to start watching Smile?
The horror movie?
Yes.
Okay.
So we get up in the air, and the Midwest wine mom starts watching Smile. And that is not the half of it.
No.
Because from where I'm seated, I can occasionally glance up and see what the three children in front of me are watching. And one of them starts watching Megan.
Do we need to have them on the show?
Yeah. Oh my god.
So this little girl, I think, was presumably oh, a movie about a doll.
Executive producer James Wan.
So I see that this little girl is watching Megan, and I look over to her mother seated right next to me, what is the etiquette for saying something now?
How old do you think the daughters were?
No older than 10.
Oh, goodness.
So, fortunately, 10 minutes into Megan, she stops watching it and puts on the Lorax. And I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
So I don't have to say anything. But yeah, that was my notable flight experience.
How notable. Well, it clearly was, because now it's here. It's noted.
It's funny because we started joking about the Lorax later on because...
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
So maybe not a better choice now that we know what we know about the rest.
And now that we know that it's all a thinly veiled version of Hitler's Germany.
Yeah.
So Alan had bought, as a very Alan thing to do, bought a board game for his sister called Touch or Feel the Mustache.
Like mustache.
No,
Or
it is,
mustache
sorry, it is Mustache Touch Game,
Yeah.
which to me is just making out.
So it's oh, which mustache do you like? And he's like, I like the ginger Hitler mustache. And we're like, that looks like the Lorax.
Yeah. If you ever see, If you ever see me at Missy B's and ask me if I want to play the mustache touch game, I'm on board. Shout out to local Kansas City gay bar references.
I was like, you might want to tell him that.
We got on a moment on the plane too, where like we had a moment on the plane where I was trying to find a movie to like listen to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my family's from Hong Kong. We're big Bruce Lee fans. Like, oh, Enter the Dragon's on here. I'm gonna put on Enter the Dragon.
Oh hell yeah!
And I was like, okay. It was good for a little bit, and I totally forgot that there are scenes when
there's a good amount of titty in it.
Yeah, exactly. They offered all the fighters like, oh, here's a woman, here's a woman. So there are scenes when they're, fighters getting massages, and there are topless women. And I look around, and there are like people like, I don't know if they're looking at me, but I can tell that, I have that feeling someone's watching. So I look at the Marcus, I'm like, what are you watching? And he's like, oh, I'm watching the remake of House Party. So what we did was we synced it up together, and we listened to it together, and just kind of like MST3 came throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
And it's weird because that's my first experience with any House Party thing ever, and now I'm obsessed.
Apparently LeBron James is a big part of the new House Party film.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's set in his house.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, LeBron James is the new king of sequels/reboots that are probably way too late to be existing.
And it was weird because, like, in the movie House Party, they play a basketball game, so, to see if the guy has to pay for all the damages. And you look at the court and you realize, oh, this is the same court from Space Jam 2. I think this is actually LeBron's house.
LeBron's just like, yeah, just come.
Yeah,
come
do it.
around.
I just don't care. I'm shooting my house.
I don't care.
Also, that movie had like a million cameos, like Lil Wayne, Walter Emmanuel Jones.
Wow.
Like,
Black Ranger.
It just clicked that you're referring to Space Jam 2. Because I was like, when did they go to LeBron James' house in Space Jam? And I'm like, oh, wait.
That's also what I meant when I was like, LeBron James is the new king of being in sequels/reboots that are probably way, way too late.
he's like a diet Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Speaking of
2 years later.
reboots/sequels that are way too late, they just announced that they're formally announced that they're doing Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah.
I saw
What?
pictures of it. Yeah. Winona Ryder's coming back.
Are they aging her up? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Jenny Ortega, the girl who's playing Wednesday, is going to be playing as Lydia's daughter.
But it's still got Mike.
And they're bringing back Catherine O'Hara as a grandmother.
Yeah.
Catherine O'Hara and of course Michael Keaton
It's still
Beetlejuice because he always said, "If I will play this character again if there's a sequel." And then they waited way too goddamn long.
Yeah.
that's the
What's the plot of that?
I mean, Michael Keaton came back as Batman.
So this is the first shot that we've seen of Lydia as an adult so far. I know you can't see it because it's an audio podcast, but
As someone,
look it up.
Oh, okay.
As someone who's been to many, has been to a bunch of horror conventions and all that, I've seen plenty of older women that look just like that.
That's true.
So to echo DeMarcus, what's the plot?
Yeah, like
Where do you go with this?
Didn't Beetlejuice get eaten by a sandworm?
Well, there was a point
at the end
for a little bit after the Beetlejuice movie came out and was successful. They were going to do Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. No joke.
Oh, yeah,
That was
that.
the premise.
Well,
of
and they did it. They reference it in the cartoon, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this, but it just got announced either earlier today or yesterday. They are making an It Man 5.
Wow.
Which makes no sense because It Man died in It Man 4. So what are they going to do?
It's a new It Man.
It's
Ip Man Jr.
Ip Man 5. Ip Man is going to fight the concept of death, personified by Beetlejuice.
crossover.
Ip Man conquers hell.
What was that one movie where, oh god, where the guy was like trying to look for his elephant and there's a long 5-minute.
Oh!
Umbach, that's
no,
great.
the
No, Protector.
Protector, yeah.
The other Tony Jones.
I feel like the two of you could like talk a lot about like Hong Kong.
Oh my god, yeah.
fighting.
That one shot where it's just him going up the stairs,
It
destroying
is-
everybody.
it is
Yeah.
incredible.
I've seen that clip.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I showed
Great.
you because
It's really cool.
one of my favorite movies is Come Drink with Me
Mhm.
from 1966. It's a beautiful wuxia film with the main character is, I believe her name is Golden Sparrow.
Mhm.
Or is it Golden Swallow? Sparrow. Because I have to no. So they made like a movie with Jackie Chan, that's like a callback to Wuxia, and it's kind of shitty. And they name one of the characters either Golden Sparrow or Golden Swallow to reference this character from Come Drink With Me, and it fucks with my brain. But this is...
Hey, David, can you hand me that bottle I think still has some in it?
This one?
Does it say berry pie stout?
That's the one.
She's my big man. Right sign. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
But this film is basically, if you watch any Hong Kong action film after this film kind of started it all. So, like, whenever you see scenes, I am been drinking a little bit, so my brain is my memory gets worse when I start to drink. So, the movie by Ong Lee, that's very famous.
Yep.
What's it called?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Thank you. In Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The fight scene that occurs in, like, an inn, that's because of Come Drink With Me. Come Drink With Me started that whole...
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't the woman who played the character in Come Drink With Me, wasn't she in Crouching Tiger?
Yes, she was.
She's the Jade Fox?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Wait, Shang-Chi Yi?
Oh, fuck me. Hold on, let me look it up. She was once a ballerina.
Oh, Michelle Yeoh.
No, it's not Michelle Yeoh. No,
She was also a dancer back in the day. Who was
Yeah.
also in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
That movie rules.
That's pretty cool.
Chow Yun-Fat, he did ballet back in the
Haven't
day.
seen it in a
Yeah.
while.
Before shooting people in slow motion.
Golden Swallow, that's her name.
Badass name.
That's the main character, and there's actually a whole Golden Swallow series.
Sure there is.
Chang Pei Pei, that's the main actress.
Chang.
And yes, she was Jade Fox in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Wow.
Pei Pei, pet means butt.
Chang Pei Pei.
What was that now?
The important thing I learned from The Protector is that if anyone ever enters a room and demands to know where their elephant is, you'd better have a really good fucking answer.
Or leave immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta leave.
Also,
Lunch break.
because also if you're gonna watch Jackie Chan films, watch the Hong Kong ones.
Yes.
Because there was a point. I don't know if this is still the case now in Hong Kong. You might correct me if I'm wrong. But there was no laws on not really any protection laws that America has in terms of and if it wasn't for a very long time.
Yeah, it's not that I don't know if there's any protection laws. It's just that I know that a lot no insurance company will cover him because he's just going to do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
It would be too expensive to insure him.
But in the 80s, those laws weren't a
It's very
thing.
possible.
Because also later on when they filmed Rush Hour, they got away with, and they were in Hong Kong, they got away with so much shit because there wasn't the laws. So Jackie Chan could do whatever the fuck he wanted and could fight when he was fighting in those films, he's legitimately fighting in those films. When he's doing those stunts, it's legitimately him. And some of those films, he broke his leg and he's wearing something to cover it up to act like, nah, I'm not wearing a cast.
I've seen that.
Rumble in the Bronx. He jumps on a yacht thing, right?
Yeah.
He breaks his ankle or hurts his shin. And he's like, all right, we got to keep doing it. So they put a cast on it, put new pants on him.
He
just does it again.
Color it to look like his sneaker.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. It's insane.
Legend of Drunken Boxer is the one where he almost burnt all his fucking flesh off.
Oh yeah, he does the craziest ass stunts. That's so baffling. Also, weirdly enough, there's also Drunken. Is it Drunken Master? Is that
There's Drunken Master, and then there's Legend of Drunken Master.
That's the second one that came out.
I think the Legend is a better film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the first one it's an older film and it's definitely of its time. The second one actually addresses alcoholism and his journey, trying to find the balance between drinking too much and all that, and it's very beautiful, kind of a nice film.
He drinks gasoline at
Yes,
the end
he
of the
does.
movie. That's how insane it is.
Yeah.
But it's still bomb fuck wild.
It's
so.
great.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Did anyone ever play the video game?
Drunken Master?
No, it's just called the Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan Stuntmaster?
I remember seeing it. I've never played it,
Oh
though.
my god. It's been a while. I have to wonder if it's still
It's
been a while.
Good. But it was funny. 'Cause at one point, if you unlock whatever 100% secrets or whatever, you just can unlock Drunken Master, and you're just stupidly overpowered. But they, to their credit, they mocapped it really, really well. It's all incredibly fluid drunken movement. It's really cool.
And then another good one. Oh my goodness, who directed Face Off?
John Woo.
That was John Woo.
Oh,
So
I was like,
I actually saw John Woo's Hong Kong films before I saw.
Like Hard Boiled and all that?
Yeah, I saw Hard Boiled first before I saw Face Off.
Face Off, a legitimately fantastic
Oh, it's-
film.
Fucking great.
it's bad shit though. It's
Okay,
Okay, it's
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage pretending to be John Travolta and John Travolta pretending to be Nicolas Cage.
And
It's-
then John
insanity.
Woo is doing his John Woo thing, and it's
It's John Woonist.
So John, here's what I've learned. John Woo's favorite film of all time is
Caddyshack.
All right,
Makes so
China
much
fan, that
sense.
was really good, but
Makes
this
so much
time,
sense.
can you do it to a Kenny Loggins? I'm alright.
Sorry.
It was always John Woo's secret desire to get Rodney Dangerfield.
yes. Oh my fucking god.
But he gets no respect when he's hurt.
His favorite film of all time is The Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
Weirdly enough,
So is David Lynch.
So is it David Lynch and two very different directors, and their favorite films are The Wizard of Oz. But because he loves The Wizard of Oz so much, he tries to make all the fight movements very choreographed, similar to how The Wizard of Oz has the musicals all choreographed and shit.
Very highly choreographed.
Yeah.
okay.
Also, he fucking loves his doves.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
he loves
yeah.
having his fight scenes in the weird, in these innocent, I guess the idea is innocent places like a hospital or a church or whatever.
Doves at a church and a hospital.
Yep.
A dove sanctuary in a church and a
Somehow there's
hospital.
still doves in the fucking hospital.
If we're going back a little bit. As far as new Beetlejuice movie goes.
Wow.
Can
Can I just say one thing though?
Huh.
Kaela and I got married in a place where they filmed a scene from Face Off.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true.
Was it the church?
Yes, it was.
It was the church.
So
Except the church, they filmed part of that church scene in a oh my god, like a club, like an old ballroom in kind of near it's like a state beach ballroom reception room
I don't know what the fuck
that they
call that
redecorated
building.
it.
they call it a beach bathhouse.
It's a bathhouse. Thank you.
So
I couldn't
they call it a
remember.
beach bathhouse.
Right.
It was from in the 1930s. It was actually a bathhouse.
But what it is now is it's a venue.
It's
But,
a venue.
To
Yeah.
describe that building to you, you're like,
I don't know.
But they used that some of the same space we got married in and had a reception in was the same space where they shot that part of Face Off, which is amazing.
There's a building where two
And it was
very
haunted.
important moments in my life occurred. It's a building where two of my fondest friends joined together in marriage, and it's also a building where part of Face Off was.
I just wanted to mention that because it's forever something I will mention. Is oh, by the way, in hindsight, we got married in a place where they filmed Face Off.
in
But
California.
in-
California, man.
yeah, it's a weird place, California. I guess the next best thing is if we really wanted film pedigree, we could have gotten married in Bronson Cave. But Alan, you were saying, sorry,
Oh,
Betelgeuse.
have we said his name 3 times by now? Is he
Yeah.
here on the
Yeah.
show?
yeah.
I love you, Michael Keaton. Where are you?
It's showtime.
Nice fucking model.
In the year of our Lord 2023, if we were going to do a Beetlejuice movie, I'd have just liked to see an adaptation of the musical.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah! Just get the whole cast is still young enough.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As someone who, for the most part, with several film exceptions, hates Tim Burton.
It's okay. Tim Burton's a lot of earlier films are pretty good, and then there's a point where it's just I'm so sick of this.
I still like Sweeney Todd.
Love Sweeney Todd.
I-
And I think you and I have agreed that Ed Wood might be his best,
No,
objectively his best
I think
movie.
you guys said that.
Easily.
Ed Wood and probably Mars Attacks are tied for me.
Oh
in
shit,
five.
you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy Beetlejuice.
I like Beetlejuice a lot.
Even though Nightmare
Yeah.
for Christmas is very overdone,
He also
It's
didn't
so-
direct it.
he didn't
Yeah,
direct.
he-
Oh yeah, that's
he
Henry
produced
Selick.
it,
That's
right?
Henry Selick.
Yeah.
Yes,
He just produced that one.
he just produced it. He wrote the
But yeah,
premise, but
He
I
did.
within the past month or so, after seeing it all over TikTok posts about it all the time, because I look up a lot of musical theater stuff on TikTok, and the algorithm has found me. Yeah,
Thank
no, I've seen snippets from the Beetlejuice musical and then sought out the Broadway cast recording, and like, I hate that it slaps so much.
It's really good.
I'm very happy that you found it because, I've been kind of on an Alex Brightman kick recently because of Beetlejuice and School of Rock.
Yeah.
That guy is
He
like...
was in School of Rock.
Yeah, he was Dewey Finn.
Oh!
But not the movie, the
oh,
musical, the musical, yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't get a lot of attention because it was nominated the same year Hamilton was, so Hamilton took everything.
Yeah.
But School of Rock is an amazing show.
That was a bad year to beat any other show. I wouldn't have even fucking showed up.
Hamilton, after like that whole thing Hamilton happened with like politics and shit, you're like, yeah, you guys are all fucks. I'm sorry. The fact that there was a moment where, was it Mike Pence showed up to one and they stood up and then dressed him?
Yeah.
And now that's a part of American history. And it's like, wow, you guys, nope. And now the Tonys, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Don't show up to award shows at this point.
Yeah.
Why bother?
But yeah, I agree with Alan. Like, the soundtrack is great. Alex Brightman really is his own Beetlejuice, and it's great.
Maybe my new favorite opening number in musical.
Oh yeah, the whole being dead thing.
Hold on. Later on, after this, show the animated.
Oh yeah, I'll pull that up. The animatic by
There's an animatic to it, and it's so good.
Hey, Adam Driver, you killed Han Solo.
I know about
That's not cool, bro.
I know
being
about,
dead.
There's a whole Evening with Kevin Smith thing where he talks about
yes,
when he kind of became a hot name after
Clerks.
Chasing Amy was kind of what made him.
No, but he was because he got hired for the Superman thing before Chasing Amy.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. No, that's Tim Burton.
It was actually people seeing the script for Chasing Amy.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Kind of made Hollywood talk about him a little more.
Chasing Amy is actually a really good film.
His best one's still Dogma.
No, Dogma's his best for sure.
I think Chasing Amy and Dogma.
Jason and I used to walk everywhere.
But he was talking about like studios were offering him like actual work, and one of the things they offered him was Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian.
Yes, that's right.
The joke he says is like, do we really need another Beetlejuice?
Didn't we say
Didn't we say all we needed to say with the first Beetlejuice? Yeah. Must we go tropical?
Honestly, just watch Kevin Smith talk like during that whole talk.
Oh,
it's so enjoyable. And
because that's part of the bigger discussion about him. The Superman movie.
Working on.
Oh yeah, yes. I remember that one.
I love the fact I had an ex of mine once said it's amazing that he worked with the most famous illiterate man. I'm like, okay.
Fucking giant spider.
Spider.
No, that whole discussion is good.
That's a spider room moment. That's what that is.
Yes. That and his stories about Prince are some of my favorite things.
Those are.
Other podcasts we like listening to, please check out.
Was that the story about Prince? What was?
So he wanted to use the most beautiful girl in the world for, I want to say,
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Thank you. Okay.
And
they said, and he contacted the companies, and they said Prince wants to talk to you, and he's like, and then it turned out Prince actually wanted to hire him to film some religious shit.
Yes,
film some stuff surrounding his new album, which was more overtly religious than his previous one. My favorite part of that story is he's trying to get in contact with Prince regarding getting the rights to this song, and then he gets to talking to Prince, and Prince is like, I want you to come film this thing for me. And Kevin Smith eventually agrees to it, and then realizes he forgot to ask him for the rights to the song, and called Prince back after he had already agreed to film this thing for Prince. And then Prince said no.
And then what happened? Then he invited us in and gave some pancakes.
Apparently the whole experience was such a surreal experience for him.
I'm sure.
I don't want to say more because I feel like people should go listen to
that.
The Evening with Kevin Smith. It might have been I think that was just the first one.
Because another one was because he was actually having a bit of a feud with Tim Burton because I happened?
That again, just go watch it. But to truncate it, Kevin Smith did a comic called Chasing Dogma, which was set between Chasing Amy and Dogma. The plot of that comic eventually metamorphosized into Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Nice.
Okay.
But there's a scene in the comic that was not included in the movie where Jay is dreaming about a world where the apes take over. And one of the things they do is they take the head off of the Lincoln Memorial and put an ape head on there, which is how the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes movie ends. So Kevin Smith joked about it in an interview that Tim Burton stole his idea. And Tim Burton did not take that as a joke.
Well, the way that the person wrote it was as though he were being serious. Like, he's mad and all that. He upsetly said, "I am mad at him, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "No, I thought we were joking, rah, rah, rah."
Yeah.
Another funny thing, too, is how he went to go, he heard there was a boycott against Dogma nearby his hometown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't help protest his own film.
And he asked his wife, and his wife was like, "Are you fucking insane?" So he called up his friend, and his friend's like, "I've been waiting to do this."
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's like, I might even see my mom there.
Anyway, this is a podcast about Kevin Smith now.
Yeah.
And then he gets interviewed at the
thing.
Yeah, it's on the
And the
news.
press were in on the joke too.
Yeah. Well, the funny part is, I think the thing was this woman that's looking up at him, and she's like, "Are you him?" And he's like, "No, that's," and is pointing to Jesus. Are you him?
Was Dogma like the last thing George Carlin was in?
One of them,
Must
maybe.
be.
No, he was-
Tarzan 2. When did that come out?
Oh my god! I
I'm sorry.
forgot.
He was the
I'm
old
sorry.
girl in that
I'm
one.
sorry. Everyone has to remember this, but Cars.
Ah!
That's right.
That's right,
He
he
was
was
in
in Cars,
Cars. I mean, he was also in Thomas the Tank Engine for a very long time.
Really?
Him and Ringo,
He and
yeah.
Ringo Starr were the voice
conductor,
Of
yeah.
the voice
I
of
did
the-
not know that.
Yeah.
Have you ever
I
seen
think I
the?
do remember that.
Have you ever seen the clips where they work some of Carlin's stand up and his filthier stuff into the dialogue of a Thomas the Tank Engine? It's really good.
Hey, Mr. Conductor, what do we do today? Shit piss. Like shit piss talk motherfucker.
Well, it's just like, fuck me, said Thomas's driver.
You're a fucking diesel.
I'll find that. I'll pull that shit out after the recording. You're gonna find that.
I
God
remember when
doesn't
our
exist.
sister was.
There is no God.
I remember when my sister was living with us, and we're like, "Oh, let me show you all these mashups," and we show her the Thomas the Tank Engine theme mashup with like, "Come on, motherfuckers."
Oh yeah,
that's a good
Biggie
one.
Biggie Smalls the Dank Engine.
Yeah.
That one's really good.
Yeah, and she laughed her ass off. No, the one she really laughed her ass off was the Lazy Town's Cake song with.
Oh, that's classic. Little John.
Little
With
John.
Little John.
It works so well.
It does.
She had never heard it before.
It's an easy way to break a pretty cake. What?
And she lost her shit at that.
Yeah.
I honestly, seeing someone hear something like that for the first time and then lose their shit, it's always like that's a sad.
I wish Matt Holley had left early because the first time I ever hung out with him, we were also going to one of the conventions, and he was driving me. And he loves mashup music, and he just has a bunch of it just on in his car.
Yeah.
And one of we listened to a song, and that would eventually become the ongoing joke we had for the Rob Zombie thing.
Oh.
yes.
Bills, everything. But then the one after that, I'm hearing, I don't know what the song was, what the bass song was, but I'm just like, okay, is Rob Zombie going to show up in this one? He just says no, and a millisecond after that, I hear, wah!
No.
Oh, it was great.
He wasn't there to put two Rob Zombies back together.
When I was actually coming to pick you up earlier, I was playing. Whenever I plug my phone into the car, it always for some reason shuffles to if it pulls Bluetooth up, it'll pull up a random thing from my music, and I don't know why it does it. But it pulled up Annoyed Grunt by Neil Cicierega, which is every album he does, he's got at least one song that's like a mega mash of a bunch of weird stuff.
Yeah.
This was the Home Improvement theme with something from fucking Enya, and then also like and the song like Freak on a Leash, like boom,
Hell no.
Ooh.
No one told you life was gonna be this way.
Oh,
You ever see that Auntie Donna sketch where they do that? They have a concert and it's in their album, but they start off doing the Friends theme song. So no one told you life was gonna be this way. And it lasts for like a full minute.
The claps look crazy on the screen.
And concert footage too, like when they do it, they even say on the mic, "That's the joke. It's from that show, Friends. We were on a break."
Future Marine, I want you to distort all of those claps.
The funny part is
I'm right on it, Abysmii. Don't you worry. I got it.
The funny part is, as soon as you mentioned the whole after the Friends thing, my brain automatically went to, "I've got a confession."
Oh yeah, because it flows right into fucking which one was that?
Best.
Oh yeah. No, I know it's Foo Fighter, but like again, I like that the mashups have a weird, consistent theme to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that Best is just everything, and then of course like there's the one that opens with the starting line, and it's just it's like as many
It's a
bits.
mashup of just like
Opening
lines from songs into a
That's the reason
song.
whenever I can no longer hear just, "This is a story of a girl," without immediately looping around again. This is a story of a girl. This is a story of a girl.
Well, based off of what we were watching earlier today, I can now know, like, if I ever hear the name Fred Durst, I'm just going to think of him writing Girlfriends with Squirrels in.
Girlfriends and Squirrels in and Justin. It always like makes me just seeing Fred Durst do that like opening for like Roland. Oh, like he looks so fake. Oh yeah. His face is all over extra animated. Like, keep rolling.
Yeah. No, it's as someone who has a few Limp Bizkit tracks in my head that I think fucking slap. The times where Fred tries to actually rap are no good.
I just hear like you guys say like, "I say this with all the love in my heart."
Yeah.
Stop.
Honey, no.
Honey.
Honey.
Aren't you adorable?
Pats on the head.
Oh.
Gold star tray sticker that says "You tried."
Bless your heart.
I will say I was that sad kid who heard Limp Bizkit's version of Behind Blue Eyes before the Who's version. And I was like, okay, this song's not bad. And I heard the Who do it. I'm like, who's copying this?
What was the?
What
was that Limp Bizkit? Hold on, it was on Mabim Bam where they're talking about.
Oh, Limp Bizkit, Skank Boy.
Walkman?
Oh, they're talking about the iPod.
The iPod.
Apple presentations.
Yeah.
And then,
And it's for some reason the iPod only has stuff by Limp Bizkit or something.
yeah,
Oh,
and then it led to.
I need to skank this so hard. How am I supposed to do this without my lip?
Who was the guy like that was heading those?
Tim Cook.
Tim Cook's like, fuck this. I'm done with.
Going on tour with Limp Bizkit.
I'm now Limp Bizkit's Skate Boy now.
And it was like
why do I want anything else? I just need a hot dog.
What were the names of the albums? The Hot Dog Water and
There was there was $3 bill, y'all.
something. The hot dog flavored water. It was something in the hot.
There was one before. The most popular one was between.
I mean, I know there was a chocolate starfish or something.
Chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
Starfish and the hot dog flavored water is their third album. Their most popular one was the one between it, and it didn't have a very good, memorable album name. Certainly not as memorable as Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water.
That was it.
I'm looking it up right now.
But, yeah.
Yep.
The most,
So it's
Significant Other.
Yep, $3 bill, y'all. Significant Other, Chocolate Starfish, and the Hot Dog Flavored Water. Results may vary.
Stupid name.
Gold Cobra, and the album that it came out with 2 years ago, it's called Still Sucks.
Yeah, you do still suck.
I'm living up to it. It's so good.
At least you embraced it, I guess. I don't know.
Everyone just comes up on stage and listens to Limp Bizkit.
Am I supposed to get by if I don't have my limp? That was like one of my favorite Bim Bam clips for the longest time.
My shit.
Although the reason I got introduced to them besides the Adventure Zone was the one where it was just them talking about game strategies related to The Gambler.
The song, yeah.
Yeah, it's where they're just going along and they talk about strategy. Like, you got to go to Kakariko Village, race against Dompe, and then die in your sleep. Cool. Now we're talking about other podcasts on this podcast.
Yeah,
that is about all of our podcasts.
That's about as.
Yo, dog, I heard you like podcasts.
This is probably the most meta episode ever. I mean, you got like multiple podcasts into one, and we're just talking.
Yeah. Welcome to a podcast featuring multiple podcasts, and it's about podcasts.
Starring Fred Durst and Kevin Smith.
Featuring a cameo by Alex Brightman.
Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here.
Got Kevin Smith on here.
No, but yeah. If you ever wanted a perfect example of the weakness of when Fred actually tries to rap, there's the remix version of Rollin' at the end of Significant Other, where it's him, DMX, Method Man, and Redman, and he's so clearly outclassed in every
Why would you step into the booth at that point?
He should have been like, I probably should.
I'm out.
Just put the mic down on the ground and walk away.
I'll be behind the mixing board, guys. You go for it.
That being said, probably the best Limp Bizkit is the one he did with Method Man in Together Now.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be over here on my Limp Bizkit defense force.
All night.
Yeah.
No, the thing we watched earlier about
Run DMC.
Run DMC.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny that like they say Mike D made the beat, and then once they found out,
it was Ad Rock.
Ad Rock made the beat, and then they said as soon as he found out that Bizkit was or Fred Durst was going to be on there, he said, "Dad, take my name off of that."
I want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like,
This one's on me, you guys. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, still give me my money.
Please don't let anyone know it's me.
Yeah, still give me my money, but like, don't tell nobody I did this.
Speaking of the Beastie Boys, I saw Guardians 3. And it has a really
interesting.
Oh, that's right.
I haven't seen it yet, so
yeah. I'm not spoiling.
Neither have I.
There has to be. So I always get excited whenever I hear a Guardians of the Galaxy movie comes out because it's not because of the movie, but the soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Because usually the soundtrack slaps.
It's a good. They're always good mixtapes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I haven't had a chance to listen to the Volume 3 one, but I know I'm going to have to sit down and eventually listen.
It has a fantastic Beastie Boys needle drop.
Mm-hmm.
It has a Faith No More needle drop.
What?
Wow.
And the movie overall is clearly Marvel letting James Gunn do whatever the fuck he wants to do. So, to a degree previously unseen in the MCU. I think. So,
That's pretty awesome.
yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Man, Guardians of the Galaxy is saving like classic rock music, and it's weird because I work at a piano bar, and there are some youngins in there. Like at one point, we had a player who was freshly 21.
You heard it here first, folks. A lot of underage drinking.
Kid beer ruined my fucking life. But there was a player there, and she's like, "Oh, we have to play the Guardians of the Galaxy song." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" There's like a million songs that
Yeah,
soundtrack.
which one?
And she's like, "You know, the one that goes, 'When I had you to myself,'" and I went, "Fuck off." That's not the name of the. You call that the Guardians of the Galaxy song?
I make you feel old.
Yeah, right.
Too late.
Oh, another song I love in the new Guardians of the Galaxy. In the Meantime by Space Hog.
Because the first two volumes, I mean, all the songs slap.
Mm-hmm.
It does help that I've known quite a few of the songs because my dad was a big music fan. He actually was a singer sang in like the 70s and 80s and all that.
Nice.
And so I grew up with a lot of like 70s and 80s music. So I was like, yes, more of this shit. Yes, just put that into my veins. Mr. Blue Sky, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Brandy, yes.
Oh yeah.
Brandy's hilarious because I feel like with the exception of the chorus, whenever I start to like quote it, I just kind of go, I just kind of mumble everything. So I'm like, I'm in Brandy. I'll be like, Brandy.
Have you heard the 2000s Charlie's Angels soundtrack? It's all 70s songs and they all slap. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, but
Here's another sad fact about me. The first time I ever heard "Living on a Prayer" was from the first Charlie's Angels movie.
There's first time for everything.
Right.
it includes. There's oh my god. It includes like Barracuda, which
Barracuda.
I'm trying to remember the one song where like the whole. It's one of those songs where the beat is not that much of a beat, but the reason the song is increased is because it sounds like there's a club in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't remember the
Oh yeah, the one that Sam Rockwell dances to. Be free. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the whole. If you listen to it, the whole song, you can just hear in the background just people talking and drinking, and it's like
Isn't that
clearly
fun?
there's a fucking club in the background.
He's having fun in that song.
That's great.
Just put the mic on, man.
Actually, based on that, you might have I want to get some opinions here because we were talked about this a little bit on the cruise because your piano bar reference reminded me of the fact that one of my favorite nights on the cruise was the second night when we went to the Cadillac Lounge and that woman was doing like the woman at the piano, Lenore. Yeah. She was doing like movie trivia where she'd start to play a song from a thing and then we'd have to shout out the movie and then she ended it with fucking "Candle on the Water" from Pete's Dragon. It made me fucking cry because it's "Candle on the Water" and it's beautiful.
So she's like, it was also in Pete's Dragon too, and I'm like, but it was also in. Is she okay?
She's fine.
Yeah.
It's the dog fault.
She surprised herself.
Oh, yeah. And then I did my.
I think she scooted her pillow into a weird corner.
Yeah, she's fine.
And then I said, but it was also in Pushing Daisies, and she's like, what's Pushing Daisies? And I'm like, let me tell you about a great TV show that ended way too soon.
I've been meaning to watch that at some point.
It is one of my favorite TV shows of all time.
I think my favorite thing about that is that this whole episode is kind of from what Kaela's told me, is a low-key tribute to Pete's Dragon. And it's because they have like an a cappella cover of "Candle on the Water" in there. But the narrator for the show is Jim Dale, who played Doc Terminus, the villain in Pete's Dragon. And apparently they did this without knowing. They wrote this episode without knowing that they had cast the villain from Pete's Dragon as their narrator. He's like, oh yeah, I was in that. And they're like, what?
What are you talking about?
I think you were in this. He's like, I'm the villain. And he's like,
yeah,
what?
But the point I was going to make was, and I want to get the room's opinion on this. At Walt Disney World, Rock and Roller Coaster, which was normally just Aerosmith, right? Is they're gonna have it be just kind of a they're not gonna have it just be Aerosmith anymore for obvious reasons.
Good.
Now, here's the thing: they've talked about we're gonna do Queen instead, and I'm like,
okay.
I feel like that's a missed opportunity because if the Guardians rides are any evidence, people love to go on the rides and have thrill rides where randomly you get a different bits of classic rock.
Yeah.
So we were like talking about what would be really awesome as a mixtape to have for different songs on like Rock and Roller Coaster. I want to get your opinion. What do you think would be amazing?
I had a conversation about this with a friend of mine at the piano bar because she heard the rumor that it was going to be High School Musical. I said, no, that's going to be a thing.
No.
Here's the thing that I thought about. I'm like, okay, let's think about the ride. And let's think if there's a Disney movie that we could put into it. It's about a road trip going to a concert in time. So why don't we make it a Goofy movie? And then make it a power line. Because I would fucking go on that every day.
The problem is there's only...
Have it mix it...
There's only 2 power lines.
You get Stand Out or Eye to Eye.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Or Lester's Possum Park.
Well,
the best song in the
Only
movie.
on April 1st.
Well, they also have a couple of songs that I feel more like musical numbers than anything is On the Open Road.
Oh, yeah.
And then also
else but
You, which, again, they're more musical numbers than anything. And they're not really fitting for a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But, because I told David, I'm like, why are they doing Queen? It's like, why not just do a whole collection of rock songs and just make it seem like you're going to a rock festival.
Through the ages too.
Yeah,
Yeah, cover different eras. We were naming names. I thought this is my personal choice, and I would like to roundtable this a little bit, get people's ideas, because if you know Rock and Roller Coaster, you have an idea of what it is. I argued that Ace of Spades by Motorhead would be amazing.
Yes.
REO Speedwagon.
I was thinking.
Oh, yeah.
I suggest, because I was trying to think of some 2000 songs, and I
Seven
thought,
Nation Army.
yeah, I suggested Seven Nation Army.
I always wanted to go on a Rock and Roller Coaster or Guardians of the Galaxy with either Bad Reputation or anything AC/DC.
Oh,
Bad Reputation would be good.
I actually suggested
Hell's Bells is too slow.
I actually suggested Barracuda for.
That's why I thought of it, because you mentioned Barracuda earlier, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Barracuda would be amazing on Rock and Roller
If
Coaster.
there's a weird spiral or corkscrew or something, it just has to play YYZ by Rush. What is happening?
What were you saying now?
This drum solo is 40 minutes long.
Alan, what were you saying?
First, my controversial opinion.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
I think AC/DC post Bon Scott is one of my least favorite bands of all time.
Okay.
You heard it here, folks.
I love Bon Scott era AC/DC.
Long way to the top.
Secondly, less controversial opinion. The reason I thought about that recently as I was listening to one of my favorite classic rock songs, and it auto-played into new AC/DC, and I audibly said, ew! But the song I was listening to, and it is my pick, it's the song Surrender by Cheap Trick.
Yes,
Oh,
that'd be a good
yes.
one.
Oh, that would be awesome. Oh, hell yeah.
Because I was trying to think of songs throughout the year, but I also wanted to mix it up so it wasn't just all. Because unfortunately, rock gets very dominated by male.
Sure.
And I wanted at least some female singers. I thought Barracuda was a good one. I
Yeah.
think something by Joan Jett would be great.
Yeah.
I love rock and roll.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking of the hypest, one of the hypest songs on the planet, I'd pick. I've been drinking.
That's
We all have.
Kickstart My Heart by Mom.
Yeah, that'd be good. Oh, damn, Cherry Bomb.
Yeah, I
Oh, yeah.
feel like I'm surprised Cherry Bomb hasn't been used on a Guardians of the Galaxy ride, because that's one of the.
Yeah, it was used
Is it
in
because it was in the
It was
movie?
used in one of the movies.
Yeah. Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, so was. Because
The extra for hard mode, though, you can't pick something that's been used in a Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Yeah.
Because those are already being used on other rides.
Right.
I really just want to
Kickstart My Heart only got used in the game.
I feel like the problem is also trying to make sure it feels separate from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Too. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, we actually know an Imagineer who worked on the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? And I asked him, well, how'd you come up with rides? It's like, we try to think of songs that feel like it would be part of the soundtrack that we could get the rights to,
Yeah.
but still.
Is that why they had like Tears for Fears, for example?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also fit going up and down.
I would really just want to fuck with people. Like, the opening where you're, going up, I would just, play Raining Blood or something.
So when it was Twilight Zone Tower Terror, as a kid, I actually got excited when I heard about this for Guardians of the Galaxy, right? When I was a kid going on the Twilight Zone Tower Terror ride at California Adventure, I actually always thought of Let's Go Crazy by Prince, and I actually would play that and blast it while I'm going up and down on that ride, just so, and because I found a point where I could get it in tune with the up and down on the
Are
ride.
we gonna let the elevator break us down? Oh no, let's go drop. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's what I did. Yeah, I figured it out that way, and later on we heard, it's being torn down. They're going to make Guardians of the Galaxy. David got upset. I said, well, at least they're keeping the better one in Florida.
That's true. That's true.
Because I think honestly, the Twilight Zone Tower Terror.
Well, now they're really keeping that one.
Yeah, they better. So
well, they already have a Guardians. They already have a Guardians ride in Florida now, so they don't need to replace their tower with a Guardians ride.
So I was just like, okay, whatever. And then I heard there's going to be rock music into with it. I'm like, shut the fuck up! No way.
So my less likely choices are going to be stuff like "Hit the Lights" by Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be a
Do frantic. Tick, 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 tock.
What's that one joke song that you said? It was by a real band, but it was the Coca-Cola, Cocaine Coca-Cola.
Oh no!
I Want You by Savage Garden?
No. I do listen to that song quite a bit.
And then all the kids writing, oh, it's the ending to JoJo Part 4.
Nickelback. Oh yeah, the Nickelback.
This is how you remind me.
No,
Get fucking Creed in there.
He's talking about the fucking She Keeps Me Up song.
Oh yeah, yeah. She keeps me.
The Nickelback
Hello,
disco
my
song.
friend will meet again.
Now I'm just thinking.
Fucking like a monkey, she's a twisted trickster.
I mean, Disney's not afraid to go certain because there was actually a point, and I
Use Ghost, you cowards.
Yeah.
There was a point when in Disney history for a short period of time, and I'm so glad I got to ride both these rides when this happened. They got fucking hot red chili peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red hot chili. Fuck off.
Third blind eye.
We knew what you
Sorry,
meant.
I'm colorblind. All right. Like,
Red hot
Doors
chili
down
peppers.
3.
They got red hot chili peppers.
I'm sorry, I've been drinking. Everyone else slows their words, I just do shit
let's
posts.
think of her earlier. Third blind eye.
They're
Sorry,
red hot chili peppers. Hot red. Okay. They actually had
Pilot Stone Temple.
they had Space Mountain into the song Higher Ground,
Yeah.
Ooh.
and they had at the time it was Rock and Roller Coaster. Now it's the Incredicoaster. Coaster. Or no, it's not Rock and Roller Coaster. Fuck me. It's,
California Screamin'.
thank you. Wow. I told you when I drink I forget shit.
It's all good, love.
I'm forgetting what song it was. I don't think it was as good as Higher Ground. Higher Ground.
Oh, it was like Around the World.
Yes,
something
it
like
was
that.
All around the world.
Yeah. It wasn't as good, but
What does this have to do with California? And then I think there's one line that's like, and those California women.
But the wild part is like during the Space Mountain one, it's lit up with red, and they have like lights on each on the like in the ride showing, but like the lights are showing women dancing, and like and it's like what the fuck is this for?
Forget Hyperspace Mountain. I want Red Hot Chili Peppers Mountain
But
again.
there's also red lights
light
flashing, so
district
you can see everything. So the only issue is you can see the whole track and all that. Where
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so in Hong Kong there is a theme park called Ocean Park, right? And they have a really good roller coaster called Hair Raiser.
Nice.
And I went with my family and I rode with my mom because my sister can't do heights. But they play whatever song they want to play and it's uncensored.
Damn.
So when my mom and I went on this ride, they started playing Party Up in Here by DMX. And it was the greatest experience of my life. Just going through loops. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
Up in here, up in here.
I was just like, Mom, don't listen to the lyrics, but this is so good.
Come on, this slaps so hard.
My mom has gone through so much with me. Like, she's from New York, and we did some Broadway shows, and we did that, like Avenue Q and the Producers. So I would look at her every 3 minutes, like, please find this funny. Please find this funny. Please don't be offended.
Please be cool.
And she was super cool. She thought it was hilarious.
I love that.
Nice.
That's funny.
My mom and I, the first Radar movie we saw together was Borat, and that was a terrible
Holy
experience.
shit.
Yeah.
God damn.
We saw it in theater, sorry. Because we've watched Rated R movies at home plenty of times. Like,
Sure, yeah.
Like, one of the first movies I ever saw as a kid was like Terminator, and I grew up with, like, Blues Brothers, and Animal House and all that.
That was like, just very short tangent, like, of all the families I knew growing up in my neighborhood or from school or whatever, everyone's house had a VHS copy of Terminator 2. That was like the one super like brutal movie that everyone was like, yeah, don't put that on.
Yes.
For my family, it was either that or True Lies.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no one like.
I thought True Lies was PG.
It probably is.
Now you see Jamie Lee's movies.
Yeah, but it was back in the day.
Did you?
That was 80s PG-13.
Yeah, I saw
those were 80s movies. So
that was 80s too.
They don't make them like they used to.
Kaela is furiously.
No, it's rated R. Yeah.
Oh shit!
94.
I was
like 94.
Okay.
I was about to say, everyone is furiously Google searching. Do you see Jamie Lee's boobies?
I'm glad, even though this is sort of a crossover episode, we've continued the tradition of Kaela talking about actresses' breasts.
I will say, in that movie, when I saw Jamie Lee Curtis, there, and she's doing the striptease and all that. My first thought actually was, holy shit! I hope when I get into my 30s, my body looks that great.
Well, so just be fabulously wealthy and have a personal trainer.
Exactly.
And lots of activity.
But
Yes.
damn, like she looked. But then also, I know she went through like a whole lot of drug abuse and alcoholism.
That too.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, she still looks pretty good.
Yeah. And she won an Oscar recently. So.
She did
Yeah.
finally.
Was that for everything?
I think everywhere,
Yeah.
for supporting actress.
It is kind of astounding, though, that that in the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, she stole the movie from Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's a very difficult thing to do.
At the time, yes.
Yeah. Because you got to get to know the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
And you don't want your clothes.
Have I ever pitched my idea
He's my
for
wife.
the last Conan movie that should ever be made?
No.
No.
Conan
I haven't heard
we
this.
talked about it while we were crazy drunk once.
know the Dewey Decimal System.
So, like, there's 2 Conan movies, and the first one's the best one, of course. But then we never got our third, and they always just tease it like, and then, it ends with Conan sitting on his throne. But that's a story for a different time.
Mhm.
We never get closure. And then they rebooted it with Jason Momoa.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
I like it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's a Conan movie.
Would you count Red Sonja as a Conan movie?
No.
No? Okay.
They crossed them over enough.
Absolutely not. But I'm like, okay, you know what? Schwarzenegger's old. Just have him be old Conan on the throne, handing it off to his son, Mimosa, young Conan. Mimosa. I've been drinking.
Jason Momoa.
Hey guys, how's it doing? Just put a little
Okay, you know what? When you open your
Wine.
fucking tiki bar in Kansas City, you're gonna have a drink called the Jason
Momoa.
Momoa.
Yes.
There it is.
But yeah, that's
Jason
my Conan
Momoa.
movie.
I came up with the name for that bar.
Good.
When I call it the Landlocked Luau.
Ooh. Nice. Very nice. Yeah,
I
give
dig
me
it.
my third Conan movie, Hollywood.
Yeah.
I'll pay you money.
Jason Momoa.
Here's $7.
We've been at this for an hour and 10 minutes. When does the episode end? How do we
It
end?
doesn't.
I don't know.
We've done like
Welcome to the first 9-hour episode.
Welcome to our 24-hour Twitch live stream. All right.
I did one of those.
You
did.
almost made it
You did.
too.
I'm gonna throw a couple more
Crazy
suggestions.
bastard.
I'm gonna throw. Oh, maybe this will help. I'm gonna throw a couple more suggestions to the Rock and Roller Coaster soundtrack. Right?
Oh, I had one more.
Okay. Yeah.
Another one that would never happen. The Metal by Tenacious D.
Yes.
I would love
Yes.
I can see that.
I would love
Alan, that was legit what I was gonna say because I was like, you could probably find a way to censor it to make it work.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? Do fuck her gently and censor that one.
Yeah. Well, they don't cuss in the metal.
They don't. Well,
Yeah,
except for saying that it comes from hell, but no one
Oh,
cares.
well, whatever.
Well, I mean, Sean
Frollo
just told me
fucking
that.
yells hellfire.
Yeah.
Sean just told me that there was a toad in hell. Man.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Yeah.
If you ride Mr. Toad's Wild Ride,
You go to hell.
you go to
It's-
Christian hell.
It's a fun little experience.
With
where you
Brian's
ride in a
Christian
car.
dad.
We're gonna miss you, Splash Mountain.
I'm glad we got to ride Splash Mountain one last
My
time.
clothes are still soaked in the bag at the
Okay,
hotel.
my right shoe is still damp marginally.
It's a fun little experience where you drive a car with a frogman and then you go to the Christian hell.
I'm about to say, like, if they can get away with that,
Listen.
the-
And this goes all the way back to the piano bar thing because I went to my first piano bar 2 years ago, 1 year ago. Loved it, and my brother-in-law who was in town, and it was like the reason we even went because he loves it. Said I have one request, and it's for them to play Mulan, Make a Man Out of You.
I play that song once every month.
Fucking love it, and like the entire building erupted. Everybody knew it. And it was fucking beautiful. And I realize now it's because no one in here is a Zoomer. And they probably wouldn't know it. And at some point, we're going to be requesting songs of, oh god, you don't know this, do you? And yeah, my Disney upbringing was going to Christian hell with Mr. Toad. Sorry.
It's weird because
It's just different back then.
it's weird because I know that Darren Criss has a piano bar in New York, and he mentions this, and it's very true. He's like, yeah, like the bar's gonna go nuts if you play like Piano Man or Don't Stop Believing, but the second you throw out a Disney song, it explodes. Yeah. And it's weird because like we have managers just like, like you're playing Disney songs. Is this professional enough? Like, have you seen the reaction they're getting out there?
yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta.
People are lining up.
Yeah.
I mean, again, for me, we were on a Disney cruise, and the fact that whenever a Disney song came up, it was like, She was like, kind of like, okay, I'll play this. But then, like, she voluntarily ended the set with all of just movie songs with a beautiful rendition of a song that most people don't know from Disney, which is Candle on the Water. And I'm like, yes, good, Pete's Dragon, represent.
Kaela, I hope you appreciate this, but if I do Let's Go Crazy and I have to vamp, I will add the DuckTales theme song to it.
Yes.
I think my favorite part from that night, though, was still, like, someone put up a request, like, second one or something. The dude was like, not yet, man. Let me warm up.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, he goes away, and his sub comes in, and then the sub comes in, and he comes back, and he says, all right, I'm ready to do the one with Shaggy. and does the song, and, like, during, like, the breakdown, just, like, slams the keys cover, like, against a boom, boom, to keep a beat. It was fucking awesome.
Was it?
It was so
Was
good. It wasn't
Shaggy?
me.
Oh, nice.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
It was fucking amazing.
There was some comedian on TikTok I saw recently he was doing stand up about how Shaggy is the jump scare of R&B.
It was weird. I was.
That whole part here, it's like, what the fuck is this guy saying?
I love those songs.
And that's okay. Same with, like, Life was one bullet puddle and the still. That was after that. I sound like Stitch.
It was there for my incarceration.
People, I'm sorry, what?
That's you're my darling.
And he's trying to give advice to him because
Well, that's why he always like fucks up because he has Shaggy as his fucking
Yeah,
advice
Caught
giver.
on
You can't have-
camera.
It wasn't me.
You said what? She caught me in the bathroom. I
The same wasn't you.
Wasn't me.
told you don't do that.
I'll tell you, the same wasn't
Since we were talking about British comedy earlier with, like, Monty Python and everything, do you ever watch Big Fat Quiz on Channel 4?
Oh, I did.
I've
I used
seen
to.
clips.
Okay.
You like Big Fat Quiz of the Year and
Yeah.
stuff like that? Yeah,
I remember there was
used to.
one question where they were talking about,
My ex
like,
was really into that show.
where they were talking about, like, Shaggy, and it was just like, what were the things he were doing when he was caught? And I remember it was Richard Iowati and Noel Fielding. It was like, where was he being caught?
Best team.
Yeah, it was like,
easily.
in an airplane hangar, in a tiger cage in a zoo. Because it's one of those, if you don't know the answer, you just troll the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Richard and Noel are the best team.
I've seen like it's a clip of Richard goes on like this tear about people stealing his candy and just like steals half of the episode of just complaining about that. It's fucking demented and amazing.
Also, this guy was the dumbest. Yeah, how could I forget that I had so many relationships? How did you forget, dude?
I was drunk.
A lot of drinking involved, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That song developed kind of a bad reputation about being about gaslighting, but he does come clean at the end. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
No, you can
He doesn't listen to his asshole friend who is Shaggy.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen to Shaggy about gaslighting this woman.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Boombastic. I'm not going to listen to you. You know what cracks me up is if you're, Land of a Million Drums by Outkast.
Yeah.
Using the Scooby-Doo. There's literally a line where they actually compare the two Shaggys. Like, Shaggy got that Boombastic. And I'm like, whoa!
What was that one movie with the guys from Workaholics? They were working at like a hotel.
Game over.
Game Over, yeah, and Shaggy ends up being in that movie.
The fuck?
And it was just like, all right, I have one request. What is that? I want Shaggy to sing It Wasn't Me.
Yeah. As the McElroy brothers explained recently, his real name is Shagworth Boombastic.
Shagworth Boombastic. Well, it's because of them. Admittedly, I don't know as much about it, but when they mentioned that his name is Shagworth Boombastic, my brain smash cut to that part in Outkast. Shaggy got that Boombastic, and I'm like, oh, they're like, oh. Oh, I see. Of course, the other part that I love in that is the part where they're talking, me and Shaggy dressed all in black, strapped, and I'm like, whoa.
Damn.
The idea that, like,
They stole the whole set.
they have to go after the
No, I
Scooby
still
snack.
dropped my
And
class.
they're sitting in the back of the mystery machine getting ready to go. Dressed in black, strapped.
This is the
Got
song.
a sandwich.
That's
Even
a
Shaggy having a gun is a little trouble.
It is.
This was a song that was used for the Scooby-Doo soundtrack.
In the land of a million drums, there is always something going on.
Okay. Favorite Outkast song?
Roses.
Yeah, I was gonna say Roses too.
Oh, sorry.
Either Roses or Miss Jackson.
Yeah, probably Miss Jackson.
I would say Hey but I could play that all the time. I just
Hey,
got out of it.
actually,
No one picked my two choices.
Well, I mean, but I was
Pick
also
mine,
thinking about. The one with Killer Mike.
That's the one I was going to pick.
The whole world, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you. I love that song.
Also, fucking Bombs Over Baghdad.
Yeah.
Bombs.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Roses and Land of a Million Drums.
David. So David and I do a Halloween playlist every year where we so for 31 days he and I switch off between like we'll share like songs with each other. It's like, okay, what's your Halloween song? And then we choose one. That was the Halloween song he chose for last year. One of the Halloween songs he chose for last year.
This is gonna be one?
Yeah, from Land of a Million Drums. I'm like, this is one I hadn't thought of. Like, suddenly it came back to my recollection. I'm like, oh yeah, here you go. Have some out. We're gonna put Outkast on this playlist, and now it'll forever be there as from the year of our Lord 2022's Halloween playlist. There it is.
We've been doing this Halloween playlist back and forth thing since we first started dating 9 years ago.
I'm glad you guys do because, like, rattle off a Christmas song. It's a mile fucking wide.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
a Halloween song. Most people can think of one.
So
we also have a playlist of like our favorite Christmas songs, which is which is more unorthodox stuff generally, and of course we have Christmas in Hollis on there because why not?
Yeah.
But also like Squirrel Nut Zippers, Carolina Christmas, which
I
is
have
great.
that actual vinyl.
That's so cool.
So the reason it started out that we did the whole Halloween playlist thing was I remember when I was 10 years old and I used to do dancing and we had a Christmas dance show and I said, I'm surprised we have never done a Halloween dance show. And a friend that we both did dancing had said, well, there's not enough Halloween songs out there. And I'm like, and my 10-year-old brain was like, bullshit. Mm-hmm. I will find more tons of Halloween songs. So I would just I had like a whole playlist of it, like songs at the ready that had a Halloween theme. And then that's when David and I were like, wait, what if we did a Halloween playlist and we created one? And then it started this whole Halloween tradition we do now every year.
I'm glad someone is, man. Seriously.
We have.
Hey, if you ever want to hit us up for Halloween music, we got you covered.
Yeah.
Whether it's like old vintage stuff or newer stuff or obscure stuff.
Tell me what type of song you need. It's like, I need something with that's devilish. We got you covered.
Yeah, we have
that's the other one people think about.
Yeah,
Monster
and the Monster Mash. That's the only one that anyone ever knows.
Yeah, but it's fun when you're like going through a lot of the vintage stuff and you find like 7 or 8 different versions of Mysterious Moe's, which is an old like jazz cover. Mm-hmm. There's like Blues for Dracula by Philly Joe Jones. There's you could get Louis Armstrong singing about a skeleton in the closet. Like there's a lot of cool shit like that. Old Satch just
send it to like whoever
the trumpet player. No, the Monster
Focus
and the Screaming Jay Hawkins. Yeah.
Send it to wherever that like big corporations get their music because like they'll play the same fucking 12 Christmas songs every year, but during Halloween they don't play shit. So please send it to them so I can get some nice Halloween music in my stores.
Then it gets wild because then like so I always try to add in at least one Oingo Boingo song each year because their Oingo Boingo has so many fucking spooky theme songs. Right. But every time Halloween comes to roll around, they always have to just play Dead Man's Party, which I'm grateful for. But at the same time, it's like, come on, like.
Well, you know the band so well, you're able to pull out obscure stuff. Like that first year you did "Don't Go in the Basement."
Yeah.
By Oingo Boingo, I was like, wow.
Would "Miss You" by Blink-182 count?
As like a Halloween
Jack
song?
and Sally. And the music video, I'm really thinking about it a lot.
I gotta listen to the song all the way
Miss
through.
You.
Where are you?
Webster Mall this.
Oh, I hope you guys appreciate this because I do that song at work, and during the break, I tell the audience, all right, guys, that was great, but this next time, I need you to do it happier with your mouth wide open. And I think maybe like 3 people, anytime I do that, get it, and everyone's like, okay, we're gonna do it. And those 2 people are just like, did you just quote Whitest Kids? Like, hell yeah.
If no one's seen that, we might watch it after this.
There's a couple things we need to watch after this.
Would you guys think that? I don't know if anybody else likes Steven Universe.
Hell yeah!
I haven't gotten to the show yet, but I really want to.
We got to a certain point and then we stopped.
I think we got to the point where White Diamond got introduced, and we were just like, and then we just didn't watch the rest of it. Not because we didn't like it, but because we just
there's
life got in the way.
Yeah,
I wonder. Like, I think you might have at this point you might have gotten to this song. Oh girl from the donut shop. She starts the band and she's like, it's basically like, I'm a good ghost. Like she basically like.
Oh yeah. The one where she's like, that's actually I hadn't thought, but that might be a good one.
I was saying, like, would that work for like Halloween?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm cheating and looking at Halloween playlist on Spotify.
So the one,
We'll send you links.
Thriller.
I am resubmitting my suggestion for the Monster Fuck by Leo Carpazzi.
So the one that, because usually there's songs that are slap so hard even if they don't have that full Halloween song. So the one I found was like from the 1960s called by Eartha Kitt called
I'd rather be burned as a witch.
And it's mostly just her talking about like she's not going to be that girl that basically will stay around, and then but the song is basically they say that I'm a witch, but like it has like that sort of theme, but it's not about witchcraft at all. But it slaps so hard, and it's.
I'd rather be burned as a witch than never be burned at all.
I know we talked about if Missy would count as a Halloween song. Would you count Everybody Backstreet's Back as a Halloween song because of the music video?
No, I can't. I get why, but but if you listen to it, you don't think Halloween. It just so happens that the
music video happens at 100
Yeah.
There's limits we can allow. Like actually, another one that we put in there was a song called "Witch for a Night," which again, it's the only connection is the fact that it says "Witch for a Night," but it's because it's such a like jazzy, funky song. I'm like, I have to put it on there. It's so good, and the fact that they're using the term "witch."
That's another doo-wop. It's another doo-wop number, right? Kind of
It's
like.
not really doo-wop. It's just very.
Oh, just very like it's like rockabilly almost.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You ever see that meme that's like, oh, A Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney is actually about a bunch of witches who get caught and they have to like make something up to. So like the lyrics are like, the mood is right, the spirit's up, we're here tonight, and that's enough. Shit, someone's here. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. And they're gone. The party's on, the feeling's here, it only comes the time your shit. Simply having.
It's a coven celebrating Yule.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's.
Oh no, the Christians are here. Okay,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't want to get thrown in the lake.
She
What
was
else?
the same as a duck, but
Yes.
made of wood.
Yeah, the most backwards thinking of any time period. Or not any time, but like, just like, oh yeah, if she floats, then she's a witch, and then we'll kill her.
Yeah.
But if she
Dies,
dies,
then she's a real
person, and we already killed her.
Let me get out of the way that there are not one, but two rap songs about Freddy Krueger.
What?
There's the Fat Boys one.
Go on.
And there's the fucking one Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince did.
Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince did a Freddy Krueger rap.
Yeah,
Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
I don't remember its name, but I'm not crazy. Hold on.
He had another thing where you have to watch it.
Oh, this sounds kind of crazy.
So,
fuck.
God damn it! I talked about something
I
in the
am
beginning of the
not
podcast. I was like,
crazy.
okay, we should
I am
watch
not-
this.
A
after,
Nightmare
but
on
I
My
can't-
Street by DJ Jazzy
Oh my
Jeff.
Oh, that's
God.
right. I remember that.
I think we added that. It's a nightmare on my street. Yeah, I think I added that to one of our playlists.
Did you?
Yeah, and maybe not.
I
but
don't. No, I don't think so. I would
Also-
remember.
Also, I don't know how many people here have watched 30 Rock, but I'm also going to submit Werewolf Bar Mitzvah.
So okay, to be fair, this year we're doing a best ofs from our like the last 5 years of our playlist. We're just pick ones.
We do this every 5 years now. That like we were like okay.
But
let's
next
go back.
year, these are great suggestions. I'm gonna go back to this episode and be like, I'm gonna plumb this. I'm gonna remember.
It's an actual really good song though. There's a Nightmare on My Street. I forgot about that one because the one that always pops up is Houdini's "The Freaks Come Out at Night," and I'm always and they haven't used that on a playlist yet, but on our playlist yet. But I keep there's always that bend because it kind of works, but it kind of
It's an extension. I get it, but yeah,
Most Rob Zombie songs.
yeah.
yeah.
I
But
don't.
you
I'm
can't
surprised.
overdo them. It can't be Dracula every year.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you hear Dragula like
Living
every
Danger.
Halloween
Living Dead Girl's
playlist.
great.
Yeah.
Super Beast, okay. Demon phenomenal.
Alright, here's a fun question. My fiance works at a theme park as well. She works at the local one, and they do Halloween haunt. And
Naturally.
Nice.
One song that they play all the time recently because it came out like a couple years ago, Uma Thurman, Fall Out Boy. Specifically because they have the Monsters theme as the main riff.
Oh yeah.
Would you count that as a Halloween song?
I guess,
I don't know the lyrics. I only know the chorus
Technically,
and
sure.
Nah, probably not.
Well, it's kind of like I would not, like there's what's that one? There's that one pop song I hear every so often that basically uses a part of Rocket Man, but then it's not Rocket Man.
that's Elton John's new career.
Yeah.
It's just I'm going to redo all my songs with hot people.
Oh, okay.
He does the same thing with Tiny Dancer.
But it wasn't Rocket Man. Like most of it's not that.
Yeah, it was
It's the
it's
part that
Dua Lipa.
kicks in.
I can't remember the name of the song.
So, and we
Cold
sometimes
Cold Heart. There we go.
another
Okay,
thing
that's
too is
it.
Dave and I do themes every so often. So like in 2020, we did a theme for we call it Dead Undead. So any songs that had like a dead theme or an undead theme. So
That can include murder and death.
yeah. So
Goodbye, Earl.
I put it.
I put that on there.
Yes,
I put that in the Dixie Chicks. Goodbye, Earl. Yeah.
There was also You're Dead by Norma Tanega, which
Yes, love it.
The theme to What We Do in the Shadows.
I really need to find my notes for that parody I started writing.
is
I wrote a song called. I have a song concept called "Goodbye Plarg,"
Oh yeah.
and Plarg is like an unknowable, unkillable, like eldritch deity. Someone contemplating how to like. It's like someone contemplating how to kill Cthulhu.
I want to hear this.
Hey, does I Fucked Cthulhu Good count as a song we could put on the list?
Holy shit!
There's a song called I Fucked
Okay.
Cthulhu.
Another thing to watch after this.
Oh, goodness.
It's only 30 seconds long.
I don't care. I want to hear it.
We'll watch it. Okay, I think we should probably.
wrap
Okay.
this up.
Okay.
Bela Lugosi's dead. Anyway,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
there you go.
Yeah, we've added
the
that.
song.
Okay, I was like, of course
Well,
he's
he-
dead.
Nobody give a fuck about the Bella.
Vincent, should we stake him to make sure he's actually dead?
Pull the string.
I thought you would say that.
My favorite part of it was just him going off to do morphine, and he's just like off screen, just hear shit.
Hey, so since this is a joint podcast, we should probably talk about real quick where you can find the respective versions, because this is going to probably be released on every podcast feed. That's part of the joke. By the way.
You're listening to this
YouTube
all
version-
5 times to get us the sweet algorithm interaction.
If you listen to all 5 versions, you unlock the secret ending.
there are clues hidden within each one, so you have to listen really close.
Yeah.
Give Future Maureen a lot to work with, I guess. I don't know.
If you like horror novels and enjoy a whole book club discussion, listen to Darkly Lit on Creative Horror. If you like hearing about strange and weird movies while 2 drunk assholes talk about them, listen to Jaymeson tapes.
Uh-huh.
If you like hearing,
Can't dispute that.
if you like hearing, sometimes people who are drunk, sometimes they're not, and they just,
Sometimes painfully sober, for depending on what we're reading. In the past, at least.
being weirdos, reading people's stories that are submitted, or just reading stories in general and giving
That are
them-
safe for us to read.
that are safe for us to read and give our honest opinions. Listen to Undercooked Analysis.
And you can find me in St. Louis rolling on dubs.
I knew it.
Smoking on dubs and clubs, blowing up like Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
Getting perved and getting dubbed, daps and hugs, mean mugs and shoulder
He
shrugs.
hangs out with Florida Georgia Line now.
Coffee and Pie is the only podcast that's not on Creative Horror.
And it's all because accumulated enough scratch just navigating.
Most of this is on Creative Horror, except for Coffee and Pie.
I'm going down, baby.
We gotta bring Coffee and Pie
a hat
back.
with a
Like,
bat.
update a little bit.
Bye.
Oh wait! No,
Come back.
there was a point I wanted to end this on, and it was, but it's almost left me. Alan, can you tell the folks who are listening to the show, because I think that's the perfect ending, what your think about defenestration?
Oh, I sure can.
This is important.
So there was a debate at my place of employment
Uh-huh.
about if defenestration is specifically the act of throwing someone out of a window.
Yes.
what would be a word for the act of throwing someone out of a door? And we put the definition up on like our whiteboard at work with a blank in front, so someone could come up with a word. The first person put up yeeting, and that's lazy.
That's
Yeeting is just throwing.
That's a throwing.
Yeah, in general. So what I came up with, I was trying to think of media where someone is specifically thrown from out of a door.
Okay.
Preferably on multiple occasions.
On multiple occasions, where it's like their thing. And think of only one. So instead of defenestration, I've come up with DJ Jazzy Jeff fenestration.
We talked about Jazzy Jeff a lot tonight.
Yeah,
We sure have.
We've
You're
talked
welcome,
about
dude.
DJ Jazzy Jeff more than anyone has spoken of DJ Jeff. Probably
Since 1997.
Yeah.
Good evening, intrepid listeners. This is the Pasta Shade, the host of Midnight Marinara, and this podcast is part of CreativeHorror.com, a network of podcasts and creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. For more content like this, visit us at CreativeHorror.com.